Well, hello everybody. Good evening. A gorgeous, glorious day here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's been like that all day. Even better tomorrow before the rain moves in again. But I don't think there's any complaints around here.
No, I took advantage of today. Went out and played golf with my friends. Took the top down on the car.
Good.
Just enjoyed as much sunshine as it could. And I know tomorrow's going to be just the same way, but it might be a little breezy. But it's going to be nice out there.
So yeah, plan your day. I know the kids are in school, and hopefully we'll stay in school tomorrow and do well, but maybe lots of recess and a lot of smiles out at the bus stop, both in the morning and the afternoon.
That is indeed right. But we want to tell you about a story that happened this weekend. Outrage from parents of a young wheelchair basketball team. They say they were turned away from a Murfreesboro burger joint on Saturday.
Our Michael Warwick has been on this story today because disability advocates are saying this was a clear case of discrimination. So you know what? You be the judge as we take a look at this story here from Michael Warwick.
Yeah, they were out to celebrate the weekend basketball tournament. Parents of this Birmingham-based team say they went to Bad Daddy's Burger Bar in Murfreesboro on Saturday, but were told they couldn't be seated.
The hostess said the manager told them that she thinks you guys would be a fire hazard, okay? So Erica Bowen was there. She says she feels they were treated unfairly because several of the kids, including her 9-year-old daughter, are in wheelchairs.
Yeah, she says there's no doubting every player there knew that we could not eat there and that we were asked to leave. So when her daughter asked her about why we could not eat there for the first time, she had to explain that they were scared of so many wheelchairs, and that's kind of how she explained it to her daughter, who was just
confused.
Yeah, confused.
Well, the team was in town for a wheelchair basketball tournament. It's run by the Nashville organization Able Youth and executive director Amy Saffel, who we talked to, and she said they're no longer in the minority. Everyone is like them. So it's really great for them to not be in the minority all the time.
Now, Amy's filed a formal complaint with the DOJ's Civil Rights Division alleging Bad Daddy's violated the Americans with Disabilities Act.
The ADA is several decades old by now. Some people don't seem to think that this really matters, she was saying. Big Daddy says it tried to accommodate the group of 27, that is a large team. Their desire to be seated and served together, wanted to accommodate that too, but that there had been some missteps. That's what the manager, or at least the restaurant spokesperson, is saying.
And this what they wrote in a statement in part: we extend our sincere apology to each member of the team and their families. We would like to make this right for them, and we will work with the team to do so. We also see this as a teaching moment for our staff, and we will strive to do better.
For both Erica and Amy, they're hoping some goodwill will come from this. The team's already made shirts with the words, you see this? Fire hazards, to fundraise for future tournaments.
Yeah, Amy says, of course, I want this establishment to change their ways. I think that it would be wonderful, but I also want to just further understanding of what people with disabilities go through, so maybe in the future other establishments won't make the same mistakes.
And more than anything, they want to raise awareness about the protections in the ADA and how it is always needed, even 34 years after that law was passed, that act was passed. And it's so true. I have a very best friend who has been a lifelong lawyer and fighting for Americans with disabilities on that side, and going around and making sure that there aren't huge divots and crosswalks where you're on a wheelchair and you can't cross the street because you'll tumble over. You know, it's like if you start looking for those things and you see how critical it is that anyone in a wheelchair cannot access a building or a concert or an opportunity, it'll start breaking your heart and make you realize how critical it is.
I've done a few stories on people that have broken some of the laws from the ADA, and like you said, you start thinking about it from their point of view. Doors that aren't wide enough to get wheelchairs in.
Yes.
Buildings that don't have ramps that can get wheelchairs in. Places that don't have elevators that will allow people to go from floor to floor. It's still happening.
It sure is. And there's a lot of antiquated equipment, elevators with buttons too high, for example, and that kind of thing that has to be accommodated in these new buildings, and there's a reason for it, and there's a reason why these laws have to remain in place and why we, as bystanders, have to speak up. And that's kind of what happened in this story, someone telling us about
and
this.
we have to tell these stories because it's still happening. It's our job to enlighten people, shed light on these situations.
That's right. And hopefully you'll look up the particular tenets of the American with Disabilities Act and learn something new, even from this story in your own life today.
All right, that's going to do it for us here tonight.
Yeah, hope to see you on TV on our broadcast side, WSMV 4 at 10 o'clock tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Tracy Cornett. This is Marius Payton.
We'll see you later.